don't take those tickets back and stay in those seats, because there's only one refund going on here, and it's Refund Gaming coming in with the victory there in round number 6. What a play from them, being able to control the circle and finish things off in the shelter. Here's the standings from that game overall, 11th through 20th. Unfortunately for some of the names there, some of the names at the very top, like Navi, not being able to get the points that they really want. Moving on through 1st and 10th though, overall, seeing Refund Gaming able to eke out that win there, very good stuff for them.
Yeah, for sure. They've been doing a fantastic keep on the north side of the circle, closing in there. They've taken out the Liquid, which was a bit scary at the moment. Liquid set their guns away from them, and they didn't consider Refund to be in their backside. So the way they had their split was a bit more further for the shelter area there. As you saw, Pizza was absolutely dominating against the Knights. So because they were so busy with that area there, Refund was able to sneak in from behind, and then when they saw it was a bit too late for anybody to stop them, and they made their push, and it worked out just fine.
I understand why they wanted the 2 players in the back, because they wanted to protect the guys coming out, pushing from Knights. They didn't expect Ibiza to take 2 down with a nade. What I wanted to see from them, though, was all 4 of them committing fully to that, because that was very central to the zone, and we saw it ending right where EB actually pushed onto. I really wanted to see them stay together there, because they lost that fight, because they went down 1 by 1 to Refund as they pushed in towards the zone.
And I'm wondering if that was an overconfident play from Liquid to split up like that, to trust the power of every single one of their members, which is indeed very, very big, but this moment in time, it just felt like they were pressured in from way too many points.
Well, in the last circle, everything kind of came Refund's way, with Knights having to step out of that shelter. Particularly, I want to highlight Funky M's position just around the corner. They always had to eventually come out, and it would be able to take him down very easily. Refund Gaming get themselves quite a few points there and push up into the top 10. However, OMG is now 1,100 points ahead. It seems like that #1 spot is all but assured for them. And at this point, I would love to see them just keep marching, just keep dominating, because they have the potential to do so, Avenger.
I mean, I want to see a World Championship, world-breaking record.
Right.
I mean, 3,300 points nearly. That's insane. We have never seen anything from anybody in any region before. And this is a World Championship. I mean, it's insane you can do it against these other teams here, because they're also world-class.
However, what seems a bit more worrying to me, rather than OMG, of course, running away with the lead, still going strong, is the fact that now Liquid have crept up behind WTSG with 100 or a bit less than 100 points. So Liquid are in the runner-up for that 2nd spot. They're doing a great job staying together. They're doing a great job fighting. Sure, toward the end, that staying together didn't work out. They split up badly. But WTSG, after 1 bad game, you can see how badly it turns out for them now.
That's right, out in 17th, WTSG, not the best of roads for them in that game at all. What kind of really went wrong for them, Avenger? Did you manage to catch what really went down on their side?
Well, I mean, I saw Larsen go down to Refund, first of all, in a position like that. He shouldn't have been out there. I feel like kind of off position. I'm not sure if he wanted to scout it or what he wanted to do. His teammates were on the back there, but of course we saw Refund in that position. They had the hill just south of Yasnaya, kind of goes out in a U-hill, we kind of call it. And then eventually they push in towards further in the zone. Welcome to Southjust, they managed to get that hill from them. Could have turned out completely different, but he pushed out alone, unfortunately, and the other 3 team members, they stayed on the hill and kind of tried to go in further from the west, and they came in very late, unfortunately.
In this particular circle, it's always difficult pushing, especially through that area. You know there's going to be riddled with teams, even in 16-team lobbies. That particular spot just around the shelter area is very, very damaging. Now, Gaxi, I believe, might have done a little bit of a mistake there as Larsen fell down. Gaxi wanted to get the revenge kill against the enemies that killed his IGL. And in that doing so, he gave his position, which means that a lot of teams were able to concentrate fire on him. That left Vard in a bit of a difficult spot. He did have the circle for a few times, but because the circle was a bit open towards where he was, it was easily captured.
And I want to ask you about shelter finishes, because it's not something we really get to talk about too much with kind of the multi-tiered situation going on. Obviously, I have 1 member of Ghost Gaming all the way down there. How do you play out a shelter finish, especially if you're inside the shelter on that kind of multi-tiered finish? What are your thoughts?
I mean, around the shelter, you really got to see when it's a 50-50. When you see you have half of the circles in the shelter area, you're always going to have a lot of teams, because as you said, you can be inside, you can be on top. And when you see later circles come into that, you kind of breach onto it, get your cars onto the hill and kind of park them there. And then you also have a huge amount of a defensive area. You can stay behind there. But what I personally like is also to be kind of waiting until I see if the zone goes north, because then you have to cross in an open area. There's a lot of roads.
Yeah.
And Liquid, they stayed there. They knew up in the north. They were only 3 teams in the north, and then the rest of the teams again in the south. So a lot of teams kind of colliding on top of each other, and that's also why OMG, they lost so many members.
Yeah, that's it. And in Shelter, you always want to be the last one pushing out. It's such a difficult area. So playing from underneath, making sure that nobody's actually blocking you with a burnt down UAZ or any kind of vehicle is actually very important. Making sure that no one's actually taking your exit path. And then playing the last one, perhaps even playing the blue, even for a late circle, you want to be the last one coming out of Shelters. And the Knights kind of attempted to do that. They were the last ones coming out of Shelter. Unfortunately, they couldn't get better in the second, but it's great. And the way they played, actually, Shelter was very good to me after 2 knocks from Ibiza and then 3 knocks before. They rezzed 5 times in that position only. So the Shelter area, the Knights, are really good at that.
A lot of spots showing up for Liquid as well as our Chinese fans here. And one team from the Chinese region that we didn't talk too much about, but got themselves 10 kills during that game, was 4 Angry Men. They were really popping off during that game.
I mean, they popped up a lot. I mean, they positioned again. They came in from the south, kind of somewhat late in a good position, and they could kind of collide until on the back. That's what you see. They third party. They came in the back to make sure they could get a lot of kills there, and a good positioning from them as well.
Third partying indeed seems to be the way to go.
Yep, seems that way, seems that way. A couple of our teams came in late towards the circles. We had Xanadu, we had Chiefs, AHQ, and Na'Vi. Na'Vi not having the easiest of games there as well, so a bit rough for them, considering they were so high up on the table in day 1.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a killer of a game for them. They're not going to be feeling well after this one. It's all about how they come back, though. They're Russian boys. They're strong gentlemen. You know, they got the big pants on them, so I'm pretty sure they're not going to be too affected by this one, and they will come back strong. I do believe them. This was a bit of a difficult rotation. They stopped by the hill that they normally stop to on these type of circles, and then following later into the circle, they were welcomed by a lot of teams. So a tough transition. Perhaps they can learn from this.
I mean, honestly, I want to see some of these more where you think about where the circle and where the push on the zone. Here we go. Where you see where the zone is going. You you stay on the edge until you see if the zone hard shrinks, because then you know the majority of the players and the teams that are going to be on that zone trying to get in the close side. I want to see some more of these hooks, like we see from Liquid. I mean, honestly, in the future, it's going to be the new meta that you try to get on around. We only see a few teams do it now. We see FaZe do it. We see OMG do it. We see Liquid do it. And and Gold do it as well. So there's only a small amount of teams that does it, and they succeed by far better.
Yeah. At the moment, it's going to be very hard to disprove that China is definitely number 1 here at the moment. What do you think about the 2nd through 3rd, 4th positions at the moment? They do seem a little bit vulnerable. WTSG and Liquid very close to one another. Some other teams going to try and creep up on them.
Very, very important how they play these games throughout. It's anybody's game for that 2nd position right now. WTSG, they're definitely feeling a fire under their arses. They have to step up their game. They cannot allow Larson to die first early into the rounds. This is what happened today for both of the matches there, and they have to snake their way through. Yesterday worked out, sure, they had good placements just by making sure they know how to path around and be unseen, but that doesn't always work out for you. You have to be 4-man strong.
Your thoughts, Avenger?
I mean, honestly, for me, welcome to South George. They actually recently changed the in-game leader to Ward because they wanted to release the potential of Larson fracking out. So I want to see the more secure play, but making sure that they stay together as a 4. It's so important for me. Yes, they do use Larson a bit more as a scout now, but I kind of feel like I want to see them together until later stages of the game, so they can stay together as 4. Because when they stay together as 4, they make sure they can frag out actually. And because the way they kind of communicate as a 2-2 duo, it's so much better because they can flank together, they can make sure that there's third partying at a much higher level.
There you go, Refund Gaming fans. Beautiful to watch them.
I have 1 hoodie in game. 1 hoodie, and it's Refund Gaming's hoodie.
Nice. So
that's the 1 hoodie I have. Absolutely not. It's mine forever now. Well done, Refund Gaming, for that previous win. Something we do have to bring up, of course, and there is no denying it here. OMG firmly at the top of the table. Very, very high likelihood they're going to be able to take it all home here. But overall, I think we both want, everybody here, I think we want to see them continue to put on those massive performances. We want to see them push to the very top and get themselves more and more points, and especially seeing Lion KK and Zhao Hai especially getting even more kills.
I mean, I want to see them do a world record right here. It's a world championship. This got to be a record-breaking games. It's already been record game. I mean, we're talking
day 1.
30 plus kills already. Then nobody's going to catch Lion KK. It's undeniable. He's going to be the MVP on the kills. You can't. That's not going to happen unless we talk 2 games in a row with 10 kills, and it's not going to happen. But what I like to see as well, I like to see the other guys fight for second, fight for third, fight for fourth, because we're talking a lot of money here. But with Gold taking and Refund Gaming taking the 2 first wins, they doubled their points. They're also getting into the top 8, making sure that they get more money. So everybody's fighting to make sure they get more money at this point.
And that's important because every 4 spots you're able to move up in the standings, you're effectively doubling your money up until the point where it gets like through the 6th and onwards, and then things really start ramping up. So there's still a lot to play for here.
If Gold do the same as they did in TPP and they come strong the second day, of course the second place is definitely a potential for themselves. They have to continue with the smart rotations that they had in TPP and do that little golden dance that they normally do, and this time do it better. And when they breach into the circle, they have to make sure that they hook it right.
Absolutely. Who else stood out for you for Refund Gaming? Obviously, I was highlighting someone like Funky M there, being able to take a good angle. But when you saw the kills coming in from them, they got 9 kills overall in that round.
For me, Mio is one of their top fraggers and best players. I like his aggressive playstyle. We've seen it in the regional qualifier as well. Some nice kills with the girls, aggressive movement and nice pushes. He kind of likes to control the circles and like to push in.
That's a great thing. For me, it's Mixie, and I don't know what Mixie told the boys today or how he trained them last night either, but it does look like he's doing a great job here. Refund Gaming are able to show up real nice and cool.
Yeah, Mixie effectively almost their 5th member for Refund Gaming. We actually started playing in the Charity Showdown, and it's, you know, overall having more minds than just the 4 alone really helps on out. But thank you very much, gentlemen, as we are ready to go. It's our penultimate game, the second last game here of PGI 2018. Let's head over to the commentary team.
You know, it's almost sad that it's about to be over, but it's a beautiful time because now everyone has nothing to lose. Jump in there, find as many kills as you possibly can and make the last run for the top 3 positions. Still a lot of money, even if you can't claim number 1. That may belong to China, but everything else is still up for grabs.
Well, it looks like that spot for number 2 and number 3 is very contested right now. WTSG, Liquid, and everyone's coming up behind them right now. So, Toby, this is a situation where these guys really are playing for pride, trying to get into that top 5 position. You just heard Martin say it. There's still a lot of money at stake. And for these guys, it's all about the competition. Liquid had an opportunity to make something happen last game. I would have liked to see, again, Martin mentioned this on the analyst desk as well, that when Ibiza hit that nade, that they come up, collapse on his position, give him a little bit of support, but they had lots going on, lots to manage. So for Liquid, they have some momentum, they have the ability. Can they climb into that 2nd or 3rd spot?
Yeah, it's that beautiful time when you can sit there as an observer and see everything that's playing out around. It's like, you can push this, you can go for this, this is the opportunity, and it just doesn't happen. And they don't know it, they don't know what we know. But we are watching the entire drop already done. The circle has been planted, and we are pretty well northwest. The river will cut this circle in half.
Liquid actually hanging on to that 3rd spot right now. They do have a bit of a gap behind them. About 400 points separate them for 4th place. So now it's trying to catch WTSG.
Yep, that's only 180 difference.
That's not a lot to do really. So for WTSG and even for OMG, who's had such a great, amazing, world-class tournament so far, they do have the ability to clinch this very easily in this game, but it's not over yet. WTSG, we've seen yesterday, OMG got 800 points in 1 round. And that's for a 20-kill win. So WTSG has their work cut out for them. Hey, we'll see if they can do it.
That was their last round of yesterday. That's why you never want to count anybody out. But yeah, 800 points, sure. OMG get last position. They just run themselves over with cars. And anything is going to be possible in this game.
Relax, go out for a smoke maybe, you know.
That's all we can hope for, at least. But with this northern circle, not a lot of teams are already in established positions. This is going to be that interesting contest as well that's going to happen around Pollyanna. Team Liquid are not alone over there, and there's going to be a lot of congestion coming in through the eastern side. Again, I feel like we had this very similar circle yesterday, and the bridge points became the real critical points for contesting.
And really, that's all about map control in this circle, where you can grab onto one of those many important compounds. You can already see a couple of teams headed center trying to get that scout position early. Avangard's already done so. But yes, grabbing onto a choke point, using that map control around the river is very important to make sure that you don't have a ton of enemies flooding around you in the mid game.
Yep.
And for all of these guys, especially if you're coming out of Yasnaya, you want to try and grab a center spot early. But for Liquid, they have a long loot phase ahead of them. They want to be as ready as possible. They want to be ready to defend all those coming for that third position.
Yeah, these loot phases actually appear to be really easy for all teams. We had no one run over by early vehicles. We've had no teams really drop right on top of each other. Everyone spaced out. As always, South George is a little bit more clustered than normal, but it's not any team looking for the blood just yet. It's all going to be about the choke points and the movement up. And you're actually getting your first little bit of fire coming in as Myth make their way over the bridge for the first time.
OMG opting for the split strategy. Gold holding on to this Novo region. We've been seeing them there all tournament long. They have lots of opportunity to get lots of loot, but for OMG, they're holding on to a split strategy around the southern portion of the main island. They do have to get through Ghost and Pachinki, but we haven't seen OMG taking too much pressure in rotation, and that's been very important for them, translating that success into the mid and late game.
Yep. Liquid's actually making their movement out too. They're leaving Pollyanna to 4 a.m. Probably going to take those buildings on the hillside that they've taken previously. Right now, that northeastern circle is very, very barren.
Knights having a decent showing, currently 5th place. They do have the opportunity here to jump up into that 2nd or 3rd spot with a good couple of games. We've seen flashes from them. Really good ability coming out of Krema. He's got 11 kills, top ranking on his team, followed by Voxic. And I think that for the Knights, they definitely have that ability to make these last 2 games huge for themselves if they manage to use that utility and hit rotations precisely without losing anybody.
Yeah, hey, you got confidence from the last round, right? Like, you still made it into the top 3. You were still looking to battle it out to the very, very end. Yeah, the numbers weren't in your favor, but it's a new game. They got 4 players up, and they want to try and keep it that way as long as they possibly can. Looks like Liquid actually went a little bit deeper in. They went to the southern side of the shooting range, which is just up on the hill. And this brings them quite close over towards Myth, who already did their early rotations. And this is that congestion I was talking about. There's not that many great compounds up there. And it looks like Myth as well as AVG have already claimed both of the 2 critical ones in the middle of the circle.
Not surprised to see Liquid centering early. It's a conservative strategy. They're trying to hold on to their position on the leaderboard. And now they find themselves kind of surrounded with Myth, but it's not too big of a worry. It looks like they have at least a little bit of a setup here. They have all men on deck. And for Myth, they haven't been having a great time in team fights, and going up against Liquid would be pretty difficult this early.
Yeah. Savage got their long run. They're going to be staying around Milta for a while. They are still looking to get themselves better on the board. 3 kills against all of their players for a ranked 19. It's a savage position in the group, you could say.
Tough. That's very tough for them. 19th spot, 3 kills. Not a lot going on for them, but now it's OMG in transition. Zhao Hai is trying to sneak past Sexy Pig.
Yeah, if Sexy Pig can connect on that one, then a lot of these teams are starting to actually breathe a sigh of hope that OMG will be in trouble. Those early kills make it difficult for OMG to do this 2-2 split that they've been so good at.
It's actually,
and WTSG are in as well.
Looks like a 3-1 for now. That is a scout maneuver for Zhao Hai, trying to grab a center spot. Trying to get north of this river is going to be very important. Looks like teams are going to be banking on it not coming south again. So if it does shift south once again, it's going to be hard to get across those choke points more than once. They want to avoid that.
WTSG, they're under siege. AHQ have already come over, and they're going to try and take out the hill. Rather difficult when Gaxi's got the line. Not just getting the knock, but getting the kill onto M4.
Nice pick up there early for Gaxi. Looks like he's got more along this ridge line. Vard and Miracu there to support. Gaxi doesn't have any line of sight on them currently, but it looks like AHQ is going to want to back this off and not take any more casualties this early.
Yeah, they'll take a couple of shots, but they will get away. At the same time, you had Myth and Team Liquid engaging themselves. Yep, that's great craftsmanship is what that is.
A really well-built fence.
So this is that Myth situation. Rather difficult to hold that compound, mainly because you've just got this huge hill right behind you, and that's what Liquid are trying to make the most of. But once the knock does come,
Myth is separated as
Liquid
well.
will have to push it to get him down.
Myth is separated, so it looks like if they do want to put pressure on it, they definitely can. Pure Boy taking a shot there, jumping back. AHQ still trying to find a home. They're going to duck away from CGX.
Yeah, already on the run. Actually, they're getting out for the moment, so Pure Boy with the mini. I don't know if he saw it through the foliage. He's got some personal connection with that car, coming back to check and see if it's okay every couple of seconds. But AHQ with their 1 player down don't really want to get into huge engagements. 1 pickoffs, the scouts, they'll be fine with this. Knights are making their rotation, so that northeast of the circle I said was clear before. No longer clear. 4AM's already bailed out of Pollyanna too. CGW will be a little bit late in, but they are still inside the circle where they are.
OMG opting for a long rotation around the outside, taking the Georgia Bowl bridge going south to north. That'll avoid that congestion in center. OHM under pressure early.
He is just one player. TMH surrounded by gates. He goes inside the house and, well, Mortified knows exactly where he is, and Exco, he'll get the knock and the kill. TG take the compound.
That center area now starting to get very dense with players. Most everyone has made their way across the river. Na'Vi actually getting intermingled with OMG in rotation, not opting to stop. I think OMG is going to take a little bit extra time to loot, maybe grab some of those extra meds, extra grenades they've been wanting. It looks like Knights have a line of sight on CPT.
The extra forces are coming in right past CPT. Drove straight past him.
One more shot and he'll go down. Luckily, he'll be able to get away.
Texas can't connect. CPT goes to the compound that Liquid were able to hold up yesterday. Speaking of Liquid, Texas getting knocked in Knight style. Texas with that scout roll, getting picked and dropped.
Liquid has the high ground on them. The Knights do have a decent compound, but they didn't lose. They didn't get there unscathed. Looks like Ibiza is going to back this off. Liquid, again, just more concerned about map control, trying to hold on to their center spot. They know that there's going to be a lot coming center. They have the shooting range hill relatively sewn up, but the Knights have this low ground position. They have the ridge to work with, and they're just going to let Texas go for this round.
Yeah. As long as no one can reach him with their bullets, and that's a very, very long way. Even on the map, you don't see the line reaching the entire distance.
We've seen that a lot from Texas going down early. He did go down in the tunnels last game. That did kind of break it open. I thought that the Knights would maybe want to pressure OMG from below. Difficult maneuver to make, but if it's anyone to do it, it would be the Knights. But Texas going down this early doesn't really leave them with a lot of options, and they are already on the defensive, still 77 alive.
I feel like he's like the canary you put down the tunnel. It's like, okay, has the gas arrived just yet? Texas is dead.
Texas is dead.
Don't go. This is not a safe place to be.
That's actually a great example. I love that.
It looks like OMG have taken over Georgia Pole now. Na'Vi, they've taken a little bit further to the eastern row, closer towards the crates.
OMG is actually, one thing I've noticed is they extend their loot phase, and you have one player holding a choke on the north side of the bridge while the rest are kind of trash looting in South George by themselves. OMG is going to pile up those nades, pile up those meds, carry as much as they can into the late game. OMG's been so good at following up on their kills with grenades. They do a ton of grenade damage, some of the highest in this tournament. They have Savage coming along behind them. It looks like Savage is going to go completely conservative, hold on to the edge at the very bottom by Gatka, way away from the rest of these teams.
Yeah, they may hope for a bit of a back flank into the rear of OMG, but as you said, like OMG, they wait a long time and they don't get involved in the fights until there's like 16 teams left. At which point you just start burning all of your utility, having the nades come out, and that's why they're probably getting in so much damage, because it's only happening when there's a cluster of teams all in the one area. Everyone's within reach of the throw or those medium range bullets.
They play a 3-1 position. It's been very interesting to watch them play in team fights where they have 3 of their members shooting and engaging in team fights with one on flank defense, and as soon as they see a flank coming their way, they all collapse on top of each other and completely avoid any getting separated that you can see from other teams happening. We are going to stay relatively centered in this circle. The northern portion of the play zone is going to be all along the northern side of the map, so that river is still playing a factor, but it looks like now teams are going to want to try and condense a little bit more into the shooting range area.
Yeah, this still looks a little nicer to take, as you said, like that northern side. You've got more hill zones to play with, and even if you are pushed towards the south, you should still have the high ground.
So many players alive here still. Not a lot of the early game action we've seen in other rounds. With 20 teams alive, 77 still remaining, there is a lot happening on the map, and the longer these players stay alive, the harder the next transition is going to be. Team Gates and WTSG both moving directly for center. Looks like WTSG is going to want to grab that spot we use Liquid use.
Time to open up, just let it rip. Aries, does he hit connect? No, he does not. he's got the DP, so they are the car killers.
Trying to grab this kill.
Actually, they got the knock.
Aries is down. That's actually Genji Black with the initial, and then he will finish. And it looks like the Chiefs are getting pressure and rotation from Ghost, who have the Ruins area relatively secured. And they are also playing 3-1 with Balak on the north side.
Sexy pick, more time. Savage, they're the ones that rolled through. They decided to take the eastern road, not going through Georgia Pole. 4AM also have a player being knocked. Sexy pick, can he connect? And well, yeah, he does. Knock on down in the protection of the hut, not quite. Gets around the back of the broken car instead.
Savage looking they want to try and support their down teammate.
Oh, this does not look possible.
Yeah, he just can't do it. There's no way to get across there without exposing that head and upper body.
You need to actually burn 2 smokes, and then you only cover 1 of the line of fires.
I think I would have probably just given up on that one. Getting that res is going to be very difficult. Minoru just dodging a grenade. Looks like Mossy got the pan out. He's ready to go.
He's got the second grenade out. If he hits the corner on the left, this is going to be absolutely perfect. There's the bike run in, so yeah, looking for the pickup on Savage. Looks like that second nade didn't connect.
Valiant effort, but this is how you can find yourself in additional trouble. The res will come out, but
Mossy.
Now what?
There's Mossy's second nade, so Minoru actually does get knocked again, even after his healing. Yeah, stuck up on the hill. Cello's going to push it through. So Myth losing Honboya. And this is, remember that split Myth. They're 2 and 2, so they're trying to hold onto multiple compounds. And Minoru, okay, Mr. Yoppie from far away gets a shot through the window. So Gates doesn't even get the kill on him.
Unfortunate kill steal there, but it looks like Team Gates will grab control of the compound. Meanwhile, it's OMG under fire.
And this is exactly what the Knights want to have. OMG in vehicles, trying to hide on the northern side of the circle. You know they're going to encroach. But then again, the Knights are not alone where they are. OMG will take the compound. But you see more support coming in, and OMG are trying to take 2 fights at the same time.
This is a smart rotation for OMG. They've managed to get all the way around the northern side. They have that coastal region to themselves, only the Knights that can see them, and they have this compound to hold on to as well, so a lucky pickup. But now, this edge strategy, if the circle shifts again, which it will do very shortly, it might force them off that position and into the Knights.
Oh, OHM, they are in the worst spot. They are trapped inside of a shack. Colorist is not only knocked, but also brought down. And Funky M preparing the nade. He'd have to hit it perfectly in the window, but it won't happen. It's just out the front instead.
Oh, nice
breaks
pressure.
the door, and now using it to flank around the side. The grenade's off target, but there's 2 players in close for refund. And this should be a shooting shack at the moment.
Really nice push.
Knocked, killed, and 1 more to go inside.
Refund did very well to use those grenades to force them out and around that shack. Now the smokes have come out, the defense is there, but all they need to do is wait, pop grenades in this thing. They're going to hear that cook. I imagine Poladero wants to jump out. The nade bounced out! The nade bounced out!
Oh, it almost hit him. And Pollock made the chance to run out, but it will not be enough. DJ Chip sitting on the tree to the east, able to claim the shot as the circle moves once again.
That's an unlucky bounce, but that doesn't do any damage. But now OMG already moving in rotation. The circle has revealed itself. It's centered on Team Gates as well as WTSG. Avangar holding a lot of map control here, spread out as well. Liquid is now going to receive pressure from both CGW and the remnants of Team Gates. Avangar stands between them, but this is going to be a difficult rotation for OMG. Xiaohai already scouting, finding a spot on the edge of the zone. Yep. The Knights in movement.
But they're coming right next to WTSG. He got AHQ in the middle
Eska.
with a +2 inside the car. Yeah, Eska, that's a steep hill, but it's an easy trip down at least. Especially now the Chiefs have moved off the mountain.
I love the way OMG sends the scout out. They see if there's any pressure anywhere else, and if they can hear shots, you can see Xiaohai now already on the move. Can't find a seam there to get in. They're playing very carefully. They do not want to take any unnecessary casualties, but there's no good spot for them to get in, so they might just want to ride the circle in, come in late.
Yeah, because Chiefs try to rush it in quickly, but it's all about Genji Black, who have already just held up the apartments. So there's no way to get through that southern bridge. Even Ghost will have a hard time. They're going to become swimmers at this point.
Oh,
and now Xiaohai, Funky M, he needs to actually get the knock on him. Xiaohai around the corner and into the shooting range, but maybe not where he wants to go. The bike, it almost explodes Miyu. Xiaohai will die. Refund DJ Chip taking the kill and bringing down 1 of the number 1s.
The rest of OMG have now stopped. They have lost their scout. Now they have to decide how they want to get in. They have HQ to their direct south. Refund has the shooting range. If they rotate the other direction, they'll run into CGX or WTSG. This is going to be a difficult rotation phase for OMG because all those teams have come north of the river. There's nowhere to move, and look at this. It's Mortify hiding in the grass.
Just waiting it out. He's got some good eyes on Knights, but of course it's 3-on-1. He needs the rest of his team to come, but Mossy and Chillo, they're busy with AVG. And Mossy, they both saw each other, but Chillo's not replying. In fact, he's just continuing his run now. Keen starts to open up onto Mossy, and you're seeing that line of fire. They cannot get down the hill easily. Keen, just with that line, Mossy has to go to ground.
Nice spread here from AVG. They've got them completely split out. Silo can't help Mossy. Anuktiv looking to see if he can grab that kill. There's no cover for Mossy. He has to run completely away. This is Team Gates' issue. They keep finding themselves in team fights, but they don't have the ability to play together. That firepower not doing anything. Even if they get downs, they get stolen by other teams because they just can't follow up.
Yep. Diaz and Keen have gone so quick on this flank, so Chilo can start his fire. Mumino in close, but there goes Chilo. It's just a close range. It was from up further on the hill, so they'll knock out Chilo and Mossy. All he can do is just wait and hide.
This is not the game that Team Gates wants to be playing here. Now it's up to Mossy. He knows where his teammate just went down, but there's no ability to trade. There's nothing really gained by taking that fight, so he's just going to have to hide there. Meanwhile, the Knights have taken a nice center spot. OMG are now on foot, walking into the zone. They can't use their vehicles anymore because it's just too dangerous, but they will just sneak in on that northwestern side. But there are still 64 alive here going into minute 19.
64 alive, and they've got to walk uphill from that position. This is where OMG, yes, they were able to capitalize beautifully, sitting in where CGX's spot is. And, well, they mowed down, I think it was Black who were coming in from the northwest during that round. And now it's OMG in the tight spot. They're actually surrounded by 3 squads. And WTSG in a great position on the north side. They're the ones that control the crash. Everyone else must come in.
WTSG completely zoning 2 teams right now, CGX and OMG. They have that very important plane crash spot. And look at this, 4 AM and Refund sharing a bit of territory. It looks like Refund knows that there might be someone above them, but they don't have a lot of flexibility here. That shooting range area is very dense with players, but the Knights have a great spot. Avangar now moving with 4 right on top of them. And just like that, Honey Badger Nation is going to be the first to try and vehicle rotate, and they're not looking very good. Neither is Myth on the way through.
Yeah, they kind of got themselves trapped now. They don't have the numbers to be strong enough to push on through. That position didn't pay off for them as Dre just ripping into Mumino.
Wow.
So AVG, he's a long way away. So this nice split that normally gives AVG the angles goes against them, and Mumino will be put down all the way.
Genji Gold making a very mad dash through 2 teams.
They're going into Honey Badgers.
Yeah, they can see there's actually 3 around them, but it looks like there's pressure mounting in all directions. It's going to be Genji Gold going at Honey Badger Nation. David taking a lot of damage. Behind them, Na'Vi ripping into CGX.
Gold at least got inside the circle, so not pressured to push up the hill just yet. As OMG, Sheehan Blue didn't see Lion K or Silent BT.
Rotating down the hill, they do have another flanker there as well. So it looks like they're going to send one out. They don't have the ability to do 3 and 1, so 2 and 1 is going to be the option. Rio landing a nice headshot.
This is problematic for him, as looks like the orb going to work. God V gets dropped down, so Liquid also gets something onto the board. Grenades, it's a long throw. Could be a good one.
That
down,
looks okay.
around
That
the
looks
rock,
all right.
and 1 and 2.
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, Pure Boy and Rio, they stay alive. But they are in a rough position. Maybe if they can get the knock onto Xiaorong, they can clean up their line, and Pure Boy's looking for it. But Xiaorong behind the rock. And,
way out of cover.
Yeah. I think he's trying to see around the smoke, but here comes the shots from up on the hill. Lion K having to prone on down, but these angles are just so good. Even with OMG losing that early player,
awesome.
they have got CGX locked in and, well, basically having the number punch.
So
Grenades
aggressive. Look
fly
at the molly.
forward. It's the Molotov as well, and the follow-up grenade. These guys, they're awesome. They're great. They're gods.
I cannot believe how poised they are in team fights. The way they execute that, they took a ton of damage, but they executed the strategy. They put Silent in the mid ground. They put Xiaorong on Lion KK on the top, and Xiaorong pressed right on top of them, and they could not deal with that. CGX had no chance there, even with the advantage.
It looks like AHQ, at least maybe they have a chance. Lion K a little bit further away from the rest of his teammates who are currently looting, I assume, is more meds as well as some ammunition.
Well, they take the strength of their enemies every time they take them down. They grab their ammo, they grab the meds, they grab the utilities. OMG is rolling through this.
Does he see Lion K? Wason look down to the other side. He sees Xiaorong on the run, but they're taking bullets from Na'Vi. So AHQ not really find the right line until now. It's Lion King. Can he hit it?
No!
Hit it!
Here comes the follow-up. Lion K is down. AHQ, even though they did lose one in the initial trade, they did take down Lion K, who's finished off
by Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's a huge loss for OMG.
Yeah, these were the guys who are already making problems before for AHQ. They're the ones that stopped OMG from just getting totally wiped. There's only 1 player left standing.
Silent's down.
Now for OMG as Silent does take that fall.
So Lion K is going to get the initial kill on the winner. He will die in the zone. Now it's only Xiaorong. This
And
could be
Na'Vi, look at them go.
Oh!
They surround him and suffocate OMG. 16th position for OMG.
This is great for WTSG.
Yep, they still got a decent amount of kills though, so there's still some points going to be chalked up on the board, but not from the positions.
You can hear the murmurs in the crowd, a little concern there with OMG going down so early. They still have a massive lead, but with WTSG still 4 strong and a decent rotation ahead of them, Team Liquid also looking very good. That 2 and 3 spot is very close, so for now it's about WTSG and Team Liquid trying to figure out this mid game.
Well, they're both trying to control the north. WTSG's got the northwest, Liquid has the northeast, but they don't really have the circle as such. Everyone has to come in, and that's where Refund is starting their own push. Maybe going around. Unroot from Black. They're the ones battling on the south side. They finally cleaned up the remnants that was Savage.
The Knights here just trying to get some information. They have a decent spot, decent map control. Genji Gold is right there as well.
There goes Honey Badgers. They're out in 14th.
They would have heard those shots. So now the Knights are aware of the fact that Gold is so close to them. WTSG still using this plane crash to try and get into the woods, but they'll have to get through the Knights. They're on their flank. A couple of Team Gates guys there as well, but they're getting awfully close to Team Liquid.
Yeah, I think WTSG is going to be okay, at least with this position. I don't think they want to push it any further, because if they do, as you said, they'll be on top of Liquid. They'll be on top of Team Gates. Do I dare say that, as Mortify's been there for a while now. But Gold, oh, actually as Myth, that will be removed in 12th position, and it will be Gold as well. I thought there was enough players going down there. They're out in 11th.
That alleviates a lot of pressure on the Knights. Now Na'Vi have a clear path into the zone. WTSG has Refund completely hemmed out. They're going to have to decide if they want to defend this, but if that happens, Liquid could rotate in that direction, but that southern edge of the zone is a lot clearer. It looks like Ghost have 4 up as well.
It's amazing just that coverage they got. Ghost are all together with those 4 players in the southeast. Is MiYoU really? Is there anything in that health bar?
They will get the kill and they will finish off AHQ, but just like that, they have a path into the zone. Na'Vi rotating that way. That northern end is going to get very messy very quickly, but now look at this. It's WTSG and Liquid.
Larsson's putting down the smokes. He's trying to make sure that Liquid don't have a line of fire into WTSG. Instead, it's over towards the other side of the hill.
Larsson having thrown out. Liquid playing very closely knit here as a team, maybe learning from the last round. They are not going to split out here. They need to use all that firepower and point it in one direction. They did get the res onto Gaxi. Vard and Larsson now throwing out smokes, trying to get away from this pressure. This low bowl is an issue for them.
They have to come in now, Refund. This is going to pincer in WTSG. Na'Vi, okay, maybe not. Funky M, they turn their attention towards Na'Vi. They'll get 3 inside the circle. Now make it 4.
Look at this. It's like a 4-way team fight. Liquid dealing with WTSG, but there's more to come. Refund does go down. That's MiYoU picking up a kill.
Liquid have such a great line. With that position on the hill, they see down everything the light touches belongs to them.
Uba moving around. He's got a couple of kills, 8 total so far.
Gaxi, not what he want to have happen. Pino will be dropped, and there goes Refund out of the competition in 8.
Liquid's doing a lot of damage to WTSG, who's now finding themselves in a pinching situation. Gaxi down again.
So quick.
Yeah, he's going to go out here. There's nothing they can do. Now still 3 up, and now they have Na'Vi pushing.
And Na'Vi is on the way. The grenades keep flying. Molodoy able to knock out MiYoU. That one looks a little short from Vard. He's got a second one ready.
Wow.
He gets the nade off before he'll get knocked.
WTSG is in a huge amount of trouble. Na'Vi taking them down.
Not what they needed to have happen. They were sitting in second position at the start of this round. 5 kills is what they've claimed. But does WTSG always do this? There was 1 player left alive. This time it's Larsson.
WTSG needs to hold on to this. Looks like Liquid is going to take the advantage in this round. Still 4 strong, 7 kills. Not a lot of downs happening on them just yet. They have the meds, they have the ammo. Now, do they have the ability to translate this into endgame success? Na'Vi backing away, rotating against South into the zone. Now, just like that, Dre, the last man standing for the Knights, has to defend against a full 4-strong Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's good luck is the best thing you could say at that point. He's taking fire from a long way, so he's going to grab the UAZ and try and get out, but a sexy pig with the number. That car's starting to smoke up into Na'Vi, but it's Unroot will be the man to get the kill for Genji Black.
Tough call there for Dre, having to use that UAZ to move away, but Genji Black also moving through the zone. There's actually a lot of teams with a lot of strength here. Avangar holding a split in the center and on the edge, but now the Na'Vi is going at Sexy Pig, and he will get the first one down.
That's where you need to have the cover, at least some suppressing fire, and that's what Na'Vi will do. Smokes out, take away the vision that is there for Black, and they're pushing with 2 while they try and res with the other.
Esther holding the flank defense on the low side. Grammatic on the high side. The res does come out very quickly there. Nice team play from Gen.G Black.
Good from Na'Vi too. They get the pick up themselves, use the smoke to try and cover their right flank, and then they back off to the left, and that's where most of the grenades were actually flying from Black to the other side, but now they've worked it out. Moldoy, one to hit, the second to finish. No, the range is too far.
Very close. Lots of pressure coming on to Na'Vi. And now it looks like Gen.G Black going on the offensive. They want to take this to Na'Vi.
Through the smoke is dangerous, maybe close enough for a couple of grenades, but they're doing it blindly. They don't know any of the positions of Na'Vi. We've had a fantastic round. That's 10 kills on the counter.
I'm surprised to see Na'Vi backing off this fight. They might not want to take the low ground position. The circle's at their back. They have to get into the zone.
They need a fantastic round is what they need. They need the kills as well as the zone position. Team Liquid, with their 3 players left alive, is Larson. Enjoying, 4 players just walking over the hill. Wait for it. Wait for a long time. Scoom is looking the wrong way.
He can see all of them. He can see all of them.
Yep, but he has to crawl in a little bit further. The circle's going to start chunking him, and he'll have to stand up and then throw back down again. Does Scoom see it? Yeah, he does. Turns around. WTSG out in 6th position.
That could have been a disaster for Team Liquid. Oh my God, he saw all 4, and that's what players wait for. If you see a player snaking and he sees a player, if he only sees one, he doesn't want to shoot because he doesn't know where the rest are. He saw all 4 Team Liquid players. That was a huge reprieve for Team Liquid, and they're going to continue in this game.
We are playing Defilade only. The circle has moved away from the compound, so AVG will have to come off the eastern side. No team is in there apart from Keen, and he's not really a team right now. He's a one-man show in that circle.
Na'Vi has a lot of kills here, but they're getting picked apart from Sexy Pig and the rest of Gen.G Black. Grammatic getting down Uba as well. They've already lost 1 player. This is great for Team Liquid, but Gen.G Black going full aggressive. Ilame in the prone position.
Wait for it, close range. Yunroot #1 looking for Sexy Pig. He cannot finish the job, but Yunroot on the edge of the blue.
Wide open now for Liquid.
Yep, they're opening up. Na'Vi has been eliminated. They got wiped so quickly by Gen.G Black. And Liquid don't have the angle. Black is still under cover of the Defilade.
8 kills now, still holding on.
So Avangar, they're the ones who will have to come out of the compound, but they have at least the hillside to work with, but it's Ghost who are opening up now.
Wow.
It is a massacre. There's still 1 kicking. They're trying to put them all down. As Ghost now up to 7 kills in this round. Unirip will die to the circle. 4 teams up. Liquid now getting involved as well as Ghost revealed their own position.
Samty does go down. They do have Profi down in the blue, so they will likely secure that kill as well. So that's going to be 1 for 1 in the initial trade between Team Liquid and Ghost. Meanwhile, Avangar kind of on the edge now, getting pressure from Ibiza.
Yeah, they actually have a real hard time getting out of that compound. It is an open field. They'll get into the eastern side of the circle. But Liquid, they control the north, so much of it, but do they really? How much of that do you want to control? You don't have a great line of fire. Ghost get the rest of them in.
They're all coming to support Ibiza. They know that Avangar has not a lot of maneuverability.
Great line around the back of the tree, but he couldn't get the instant knock.
There's 1 on Anuktiv. Meanwhile, Sexy Pig's been eliminated, and now 1 more down. Scoom also down. Ghost just like that, grabbing an advantage.
They got 2 standing. It's the same for both Ghost as well as Liquid. That grenade looking to finish off the rogue AVG player.
They got to finish it fast and help Scoom.
Perfect. Diaz is gone.
Nice looking nade. The initial med coming out. Scoom is only on his first down, so lots of flexibility there. Looks like Turtle also being rezzed. And just like that, we're back to a 3v3 with the 1 player left.
Yeah, there's no way AVG are going to be able to res their east.
Liquid circle.
Only Keen left, and Ghost already know exactly where he is. They've been throwing nades down towards Keen, and they'll shoot him around the trees.
Nice.
And it's just down to Ghost and Liquid, the last 2 teams remaining. Both with 3 players. Everything's even Stevens.
Ghost has to come up this ridge. Liquid already starting to probe with smokes and grenades, trying to take away as much vision on the flanks. Balak is down, but they have grenades coming out now. I'm not sure if any of those are live.
It's on the run. McCoy, Turtle, they all open up on him, but now it's James and Scoom coming in from the higher side. Balak is in the middle of the smoke. I thought it was Liquid who were the kings of the smoke.
He moved right past
the grenade first. Balak has actually done a complete flank in through the rear. Maybe not so great. There's going to be no more knockouts. No, James will be brought down. Scoom, he still can't see him. Balak is the king of the smoke.
3 now on 1. Scoom in the last position. Balak does get the med. He finds him.
Runs out the side, but it's all Balak. Perfect flank, and Ghost take #1. in our second last round of the entire competition. 14 kills to their name as well.
You can see the Profi sign. That's his girlfriend there standing with it. So very happy with that round win. You can see the Ghost supporters there as well. That was all about that 4-strong push from the south of the play zone. They stayed around the ruins, and then they made ruinous work of all those players around them, but really Liquid played an excellent game as well. But the story there is OMG going down in 16th place and allowing Liquid to gain just a little bit of ground on them.
It's kind of funny, like Liquid gained the ground, but you still worry about Welcome to South George. They ended in 6th position, they only got 5 kills. It's points, and it brings you a little bit closer, but the gap is still absolutely massive. But Ghost, they are just turning up a 3rd position in the last round, and now they're able to take a first, 6 kills in the previous, and now they're able to more than double that here in the second last round. And they'll at least be happy they're getting closer to that top 4 position, being in the prize money.
That's great for Ghost mentality. They've not had the best tournament. They've been trying their best to get something going, and grabbing a win here in day number 2 of the first-person tournament has to feel good. Liquid with the number 2 has to feel almost a little disappointing, however, because they had Balak come all the way through the smoke, and it was just a little bit one after one. You can see here Balak with a tremendous flank onto Jeems, and Skoom could not follow up, just like a ghost disappearing into the smoke.
Oh, and I thought I was the winner of that, Puns. You have now taken the cake. But yes, Ghost, woo, great positioning. Balak's going to enjoy that one, and I love it. Well, that's going to be it for this round, but of course there is one more to go to get our final placements for the first-person perspective. Who will it be to take 1 through 4 or all of the slots? We'll find out in just a bit.